The greatest tragedy of a human being is not being rejected, but being loved by the whole world for a fake version of yourself. You spend your entire life polishing every rough edge, desperately trying to become perfect just to fit the narrow expectations of others around you. But do you realize that when those unique cracks disappear, light no longer has a place to shine through your soul and illuminate your path? Today, the story of Elias the jeweler will help you break the glass cage of perfection to find your greatest power once again. Absolute honesty. We often mistake perfection for value, yet it is the raw and the unrefined that carry the most weight in this beautiful and chaotic world. Join me as we explore why the pursuit of excellence in the eyes of others is actually a silent theft of your own unique identity. Elias was a master of perfection, yet he remained a mere apprentice in the story of his own life, bound by the rules of others. Every gemstone he polished to perfection was a small piece of his own identity being worn away by the relentless friction of societal demand. We often think that total submission to expectations will bring us peace, but in reality, it is a slow suicide of the human spirit. The pressure to be flawless is a weight that turns even the most resilient heart into dust if it is never allowed to breathe. He mastered the art of hiding his true self behind a mask of professional excellence, becoming exactly what everyone else wanted him to be. In our quest to be seen as flawless, we throw away the very fragments of our character that make us recognizable to those who truly care. He looked in the mirror and saw a stranger, a man who had polished himself so much that there was nothing left to actually hold onto. Success that is built on the sacrifice of your soul is not success at all. It is a golden cage with no door to escape. The cost of fitting in is the loss of your original shape, a price too high for any heart to pay for very long. When you try to become excellent in the eyes of others, your personal identity is always the first casualty of that silent war. Being loved for a mask is the most profound kind of loneliness, because deep down, you know they don't actually love the real you. Every time you say yes to someone else's vision of your life while your heart screams no, you lose another piece of your truth. The world demands consistency, but the soul demands growth. Trying to stay perfectly still within a mold is an act of spiritual suffocation. We dress ourselves in the expectations of others, forgetting that these clothes were never meant to fit our bodies or our unique spirits. Time passes as we perform for an audience that will eventually forget us, while we ourselves become the ghosts of who we should be. Identity is not something you build to please others. It is something you discover when you stop caring about the applause of the crowd. The invisible chains of should and must are often heavier than any physical weight we might carry throughout our long and weary days. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment any human can achieve. Real beauty does not lie in the absence of flaws. It is found in the cracks where the light finally has a chance to enter. Those imperfections, those stumbles, and those moments of pain are the very things that define us as unique among 8 billion other people. A stone that is perfectly round is easily forgotten, but a stone with a unique fracture tells a story of survival and endurance. The light of truth doesn't need a perfect surface to shine. It only needs an opening. No matter how small or jagged it may be, we spend so much time fearing our weaknesses that we forget they are the portals to our greatest strengths and our deepest human connections. When Elias held that broken stone, he didn't see a failure. He saw a reflection of a life lived truthfully, without any pretension or lies. Your scars are not things to be hidden. They are the maps of your journey and the proof that you have truly lived life. The truth is often found in the most unlikely places, beneath the dirt and the rain, waiting for someone brave enough to look closer. There is a quiet power in accepting the things that make us imperfect in the eyes of a society obsessed with artificial and hollow polish. Every step away from perfection is a step toward liberation, a journey back to the heart of who you were always meant to be. He returned to his bench not to perform a service for others, but to finally express the truth he had discovered by the river. Living truthfully begins with a moment of absolute silence. It is not an act of weakness, but a profound reclamation of your personal power. In that silence, the noise of the world fades away, leaving only the steady beat of your own heart and the clarity of your intent. When you finally find the courage to say no to the expectations of others, you are saying yes to your own soul for the first time. Do not fear disappointing others, for those who truly respect you will never ask you to destroy your own essence for their comfort. Authority is not taken It is recognized in the person who refuses to be anything other than exactly who they are in this moment. This was the moment Elias stopped being a servant to the glass cage and became the master of his own creative and spiritual destiny. There is a wild freedom in being misunderstood by those who only value the surface, for it keeps you safe from their shallow judgments. Every act of defiance against perfection is a brick in the foundation of a life that is actually worth living and celebrating every day. When you are at peace with yourself, the world can no longer use your insecurities as a leash to pull you in their direction. The power of silence is the power of being unshakable in your own truth. Regardless of the storms that may rage outside your door, he chose the soft glow of reality over the blinding glare of perfection. And in that choice, he finally found the peace he sought. Your value is never defined by how much you satisfy others, but by the courage you show in simply being yourself every single day. In both your career and your personal life, sincerity acts as the most powerful magnet, drawing in the opportunities that truly belong to you. People are drawn to the authentic because it is rare. In a world of carbon copies, an original soul is a treasure beyond any price. When you stop trying to be excellent, you finally have the energy to be excellent at being human, which is far more valuable and rare. Confidence is not having all the answers or being the best. It is being comfortable with your own questions and your own unique flaws. Success is redefined as the ability to wake up every morning and feel like you are not lying to yourself about who you are. He no longer sought the perfect stone, for he had realized that perfection is a dead end, while imperfection is a gateway to infinity. When you create from a place of truth, your work resonates with the truth in others, creating a bond that no marketing can ever mimic. Your environment begins to change when you change your internal compass from fitting into standing out as your true, authentic self. The marks on your hands and the lines on your face are the medals of a life that has been lived with courage and honesty. Let your life be a spectrum of your own colors, not a reflection of the gray shadows that others want to cast upon your soul. Living truthfully is your ultimate power. Do not let the trap of perfection steal the identity you have spent a lifetime trying to build. Every small act of honesty creates a ripple that touches the lives of everyone around you, encouraging them to find their own hidden truth. The performance is over. The curtain has fallen. It is time for you to step off the stage and finally walk into the real world. I challenge you to write down one thing you've been hiding from yourself in the comments below. Start your journey of liberation right now. True freedom is found in the simple moments of being, where there is nothing to prove and no one to impress but yourself. Believe in the power of your own unique story. Your cracks are where your light shines brightest. Don't ever let anyone polish them away. I am your guide on this journey, and I believe in the power of your authenticity. Be real, be you, and finally be free.